fucking frozen too.
Greatest superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
Hey, Clingman, what's up, brother?
Hey, well, I'm excited to be here, Sean. Excited to
We got some awesome folks. We'll talk a little bit more about what the heck we're even doing here. Thank you so much for being here today. But Craig, let's get to it. Who's here today?
Okay, well, I've got, should I do one at a time, Sean?
Yeah, we're gonna let that, you know what? Let's give them 30 seconds to intro themselves, you know, their name, what they're up to in the world, quick fun fact, and let's get rocking.
All right, I'm going to start with Gavin, and I'm just going by what I see on the screen here. So wonderful, Gavin, tell us 30 seconds about yourself, including a fun fact.
Okay. My name's Gavin Kelly. I live here in Denver, Colorado. I work in real estate. I deal with single family investments here locally and nationally. And a cool little tidbit about me is a story when I was sitting with my grandfather in a garage in his car, and he looked at me and he said, "Gavin, you don't mind me." And I looked back at him and I said, "Of course I don't mind you, Grandpa. I like you a lot." That's a little story about me.
Hey, Gavin, thank you for being here today. Appreciate you. We're gonna have some fun. Thank you. Craig.
Okay, I've got Dr. Wonderful Ray Peavy, who grew up same town I grew up in Arcadia. Go ahead, Dr. Ray.
So yes, I'm a practicing chiropractor here in the city of Arcadia. Have been here for about, 35 years and loving everything that I do. And enjoy getting sick people well, and especially during the pandemic, we've seen just an amazing resurgence of patients wanting to be in here and find ways to improve their immune system and their health overall. I guess a fun fact for me would be that I too like to be in the cold water, and it's mostly for the standpoint of scuba diving. I'm a big scuba diver. So
Where's your favorite place to go, Doc?
I like to go up Anacapa Islands off the coast of Santa Barbara. You know, the water is a little bit more with clarity. And then I do periodic trips to Hawaii, but that's obviously been on the standstill. I did have a trip planned for this past May, but that got canceled. So
where are we gonna go?
well, we were going to go over to the Big Island off of Kona. That's where I actually learned how to scuba dive. They threw you in the water as a tourist for a half an hour dive lesson, and then you're diving in 100 feet of water with scuba tanks. So much for safety precautions back in the 70s there.
Amen to that. And how about your craziest moment in the water as a diver? What was your most
craziest moment in the water was off Catalina Island, and we were diving for abalone, and they had told us that, you know, there's eels in and around in that area.
Oh boy.
And I don't know if any of you recall from the movie Jaws. Well, you had the movie Jaws with the shark, but there was in the I think it was in the Abyss or something, or one of these underwater movies, this huge eel just comes out and just
Peter
Benchley.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it gives you this big open mouth, and so he was like about 4 or 5 inches from my face mask, and so that kind of got me a little bothered there. So that was probably a startling moment.
Well, from one diver to another, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Yeah, Craig.
All right, we have wonderful David Haberbush, and David does bankruptcy law amongst other things. Go ahead, David. Tell us about yourself.
Yeah, I'm sitting here in Long Beach, California, right on the water. Out my window, I can see the Queen Mary and Catalina Island as we are doing this today. Yeah, my firm does debtor-creditor relations, anything involving insolvency, reorganization, those kinds of things. You ask for a crazy moment. I have a little short story. About 1996, I just opened my firm. We got a major case, and we decided to take depositions at the place of business. And at that time in California, we had a proposition to legalize marijuana, and one side of the suites had signs, paper signs put on the doors, basically saying this is for signing up for this proposition to support it. And so we go in, we take the deposition, we're leaving, and as we're leaving, boom, 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 boom on the door. The door flies open. I'm in my coat, holding my briefcase, and in comes a SWAT squad guns out, guns pointed.
That's amazing.
Okay, everything ready to go, and they're saying down, 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 down. And I look at them, and I said to myself, surely you don't mean me. And my partner's on his face. Everybody else is on their face on the ground. And then they pointed at me and they said, "You too." And so I got down on one knee.
David, that is a remarkable fun fact. And I said today that we have gone through some of the most incredible real raw fun facts today. We had a gentleman on earlier that was is in the top 100 criminal defense attorneys each of the last 4 years from Pittsburgh. And he had an insane fun fact about a drug cartel. And that was remarkable. That is a top 3 all-time real raw fun fact. And we've been doing this for 235 episodes since COVID began. So thank you for that amazing share.
Sure.
Awesome. Craig.
All right. The man straight from the $6 Million Man, Kerry O'Brien. He does personal injury law, amongst other things. Go ahead, Kerry.
Thank you, Craig. Yep. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kerry O'Brien. I've been an attorney for about 20 years. And as Craig was saying, most of my my specialty is both in personal injury and workers' compensation. Started out as a defense attorney. Did that for a number of years. And I had an epiphany, decided I didn't want to do slave labor anymore. So I started doing this for the last few years. And probably say about 2/3 of our business is now personal injury, car accidents. I still do some workers' compensation. But a little fun fact, I'm an avid tennis and soccer player, taught tennis for a while. I have one boy who's 13 years old. And a little fun fact there is I'm finding myself doing a lot more of his homework at night or finding out how to check his homework in than anything else I'm doing in my wonderful evenings. So that's been a lot of fun lately.
Welcome to the teen years, brother.
Thank you. Yes.
So welcome here, Kerry. Awesome. Thank you.
I'll give you an A+ on your homework, Kerry.
Yeah, thank
All
you.
right.
Yeah.
This is Steve Levitt, and Steve, Steve, did I pronounce it right? I know we talked that
You
yesterday.
did.
Okay, great. And Steve's an attorney. And Steve, tell us what you do, specialty, and a fun fact.
I have an office in Woodland Hills, which for you out-of-state people, that's northwest of Los Angeles, in the San Fernando Valley. I've been an attorney for probably twice as long as Kerry. I do real estate, business, and construction. And fun story is right after the LA riots, I had an arbitration scheduled and it was continued because of the riots. And on the first day of the arbitration, it was towards the end of the day, I represented a contractor against a school district. And there was a witness who was one of the administrators for an Orange County school district, which shall go nameless. And I just had an instinct that they didn't have time to prepare him because of the riots, and since it was continued and the like. So I called him as a witness, and I had my Perry Mason moment. You rarely get somebody to hem and haw and be full of themselves and tell lies because their lawyer usually has prepared them. This gentleman had not been. The judge got so angry at him, he turned red in the face and said, "I'm not going to believe anything you tell me from this point on." Suffice it to say, my client ultimately did really well. But so that's my Perry Mason moment.
Can you? I am so sorry. This is Sean Callagy. I dropped off. That sounds extraordinary, and I love disruption of untruth in the courtroom. Oh, I'm back.
So can you just know what
Well, you're going to have to remove unblinded because now you're blinded.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry.
You're going to have to remove your unblinded tag. Now you're blinded.
There we go. Is that down? I'm not even sure.
Is anybody else getting feedback? Do you want to mute myself? Is that what happens?
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so Craig, am I on or no?
Yeah.
You're good, Sean.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm sorry. So the Perry Mason moment was, I heard the very end of it, the judge wouldn't believe a word, but what was the Perry Mason moment?
The fact that the witness was totally unprepared and basically blatantly perjured himself in front of the judge.
Amazing. May I share a fun fact to that?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So, and maybe this is a good segue into what we're doing here. So my fun fact, I'll give two. First, I'm a blind guy. I am legally blind. That taught a blind guy to surf this past month, and also taught that same blind guy how to win carnival games in Fantasy Island in New Jersey with an amazing group of people. So that was my fun fact for today. My second fun fact is that I put the Inspector General of the state of Arizona on the witness stand in Arizona's last jury verdict, largest jury verdict in the last decade, when that gentleman said, "Oh, there was no evidence of fraud whatsoever." And that was a very unpleasant day for the Inspector General of the state of Arizona. And by the end, the jury was laughing. And that was the utilization of what we're doing here today. Integrity-based human. Hey, my name is Sean Callagy. I have the unique privilege of having two top 100 national jury verdicts between 2004.
Uh-oh, we lost you, Sean.
Right.
Okay. Now I think you're on now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you just blacked out for a second and came back.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. The Hotel Del here in San Diego. I'm from New Jersey, but out here on the West Coast for the last few days. And so what this is all about, I also speak nationally. I have a company called Unblinded, where we're supporting people and understand the superpower of influence and what to do with it, whether that be in the form of sales, marketing, leadership. That's what we're doing. And this is our 235th Real Raw. Thank you for your courage, vulnerability, and time in being here. And what we found is that this is an incredible way of accelerating connection and relationship between people. Because it's not just like, oh, we come on this thing and it's networking. It's not just, oh, we talk about our stuff. We're becoming vulnerable. We're showing how influence works. We're learning from one another. And in Unblinded, we believe there's a science that makes the art of influence look like magic, but really it's just a revelation of truth. I've also had a unique privilege of some entrepreneurial ventures. I came out of law school. I had what I thought was my dream job. I realized that influence mattered. I was relatively introverted. Couldn't believe that I would have to sell or market anything in the law, because that was not on the brochure in law school, nor was it on the brochure at Columbia University when we're reading all kinds of books in political science that it said, oh, this stuff won't matter so much, but will matter is your ability to make people say yes. And I realized that yes could be the most authentic, heart-centered, integrous thing we could do for somebody. So I built a 40-person law firm in 2 years out of law school, starting on my credit card, $100,000 in debt, and I currently own a 125-person law firm, having exited my first firm. So it's a little of my background, and I only share that only so there's a little bit of credibility in like, who are you, dude, and why are you talking about influence and what's up? I share that only from that perspective. Thank you, everybody, again, for being here. Craig, who else we got there, sir?
Let me see. I think that was it.
Awesome. And how about our judges for today?
Let me see. Okay, I'm sorry. I just making sure we had everybody. Okay, we have a wonderful Diana Pereira, our wonderful dancer and just happy about life. And she's, tell us about yourself, Diana.
Hey everyone, I love to hear everything about you. I'm going to share a little bit about me. I was born in South America, Uruguay. I am a mother of two beautiful daughters, and I overcame struggles several times in my life. And I have dedicated my life now to assist and guide individuals that are also looking for taking themselves up to the next level, be it connecting to their hearts, overcoming body pain and limitation, limiting beliefs. So basically, I've dedicated 20 years to learn and study how to become aware of what is limiting us and getting in the way of our full potential. So I work with successful individuals that have everything by the textbook, but at the end of the night, they're looking for some connection to themselves, passion, joy, fun. And I work on learning how to influence myself in my communication and others through Unblinded, because my passion is to impact the lives of 400 million Latinos all over the world with what I do, and help others to also find their heart in what they do, both in English and in Spanish. So I'm blessed to be here. Thank you so much.
Diana, thank you. And a quick fun fact.
Quick fun fact is that I used to be a disc jockey and bring people up into dancing in like a minute.
Well,
that is
not shocking somehow. So thank you for your presence. And also, I think you'll also go by Captain Marvel. Unblinded team, we're getting a little bit of feedback from somewhere. If you guys could support us with that, that would be awesome. Thank you, Diana. Craig, is Diana our singular judge or is there another?
I've got Karen from Colorado, and I have Brian Ripple.
Colorado, Karen, what's up? Quick 30-second intro and fun fact.
Yes, Gavin, I'm also here from Denver. I'm in Lakewood. So I'm an entrepreneur, business owner, but mainly focus on the financial space. So when people want to learn how to protect their wealth, they come to me and I take them into certainty. And a fun fact about me is I went axe throwing for the first time last night and I was good at it.
Oh,
It was fun. Good little workout.
Gotta love that, Karen. Thank you for that. Brian Ripple, sir, what's cooking?
You're muted, Brian. Oh, here he comes.
There we go. So yes, I'm, what's up, Sean and everybody else? I'm in the financial space as well with offices around the country. My current venture is opening a Italian ice gelato store, and under 20 days now, we have our grand opening. And Sean, on the side, we just got an offer to purchase one of the other franchises. So we'll be having potential 2 by the end of the year open.
Boom. I would appreciate a gallon a week of gelato, and we're also
to transparency. We are having conversations about possibly get these 2 and then coming to New Jersey because of the influence we have up there. So, fun fact: I am sitting on my lake today, and as soon as we're done with this call, I will be jet surfing in the water. So it is warmed up and ready to go.
Jet surfing in the house. And Brian, how many offices do you guys have across the country?
Yeah, we have 50 offices, financial firms around the country.
Craig, everybody that's here today. Craig, who's first? And then we'll explain what we're doing in a moment. And by the way, Craig,
Yes.
thank you for doing this. And how about yourself? Like, besides being a surfer, and I will share this, Craig came to New Jersey, and I think things didn't go quite as well for the California surfing Craig Clingman in New Jersey.
It was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah. So, yeah, and so it was 1-0 New Jersey, but then I came to California, and right out here, we'll be going just in a little bit, outside the Hotel Del, Craig laid a beating on me. So we're 1-1, and we have to have this settled. So we still have to talk more about tomorrow and what we may be able to work out and settle the East Coast, West Coast surf off. But in between, what are you up to in the world? And a fun fact, brother.
Thank you, Sean. And I didn't beat on Sean. Those waves did. I was trying to help Sean up. Basically, I
beat up a blind guy in the ocean, Craig. Beating up a blind guy in like 5-foot surf. Yeah, but good.
Sean is tough. Well, I'm a grandfather number 1 of 7. I teach special ed during the day, and this will probably be my last year of teaching because I do real estate investing. And what it is for a person who doesn't want to get into real estate. They don't want to know anything about it, but they want to diversify their funds to go from a 7% return, say in stocks, to get a 18%. And we do everything. All they do is become an investor. So through Chris Crone Investments. So that's what I do. And I surf with Sean when I get the chance.
That's awesome. All right. So who are we going to start with?
All right. Well, we will start with, I want to start with the man from Arcadia, straight from where I grew up. So Dr. Ray, if you feel good, I think you're ready. Represent those Arcadia Apaches.
Dr. Ray, you all good to go?
No, you're on mute, Dr. Ray.
How's that?
Yes.
We can hear. So Dr. Ray, what you're going to do with Craig is that like everything begins after yes. So without yes, there's no money, there's no scaling, there's no freedom, there's nothing. Like yes created America, yes created our business, yes provides a paycheck, yes creates contribution and freeing people from slavery, yes creates the world. And so how do we go from hello to yes? Like what's the magic and the science and how does it all work together? That's what we're unpacking here in a gamified, fun way with amazing people like yourselves on the Real Raw Open. So Craig will be anybody that you want him to be, and you have 3 minutes to go from hello to yes. Caution flag, caution flag. This is not Wolf of Wall Street meets Boiler Room. Although one of the people from Stratton Oakmont, which is Jordan Belfort's firm, was just on the Real Raw Open 2 days ago as a judge, which was funny in its own right. But for this is about heart-centered integrous connection. You go, well, how the heck in 3 minutes can we get to yes? Well, the yes could simply be that you've met somebody of impact, you've met an ideal client, you've met maybe a book deal, somebody that you want to go from hello to yes with, and that yes could simply be for a longer meeting. So it does not have to be the ultimate yes. So with that said, Doc, who would you like Craig to be?
I'd like him to be a patient who is seeking to achieve a higher level of health and well-being, and looking to impart his ability to live a long and fruitful life. That's what I'd like him to be.
Awesome. And by the way, extraordinary proponent of chiropractic. My firm was, when I created my firm out of law school, we were then, and my former partner is now still counsel to the New Jersey Chiropractic Society. So thank you for all you do to impact people in the world.
Okay,
right.
great.
Right. Yeah. So Craig, take us in. You're seeking some chiropractic care, brother, and health and wellness.
All right. Okay. So hi, Dr. Ray. I know you just, why don't you go ahead and just say you called me and I'll answer.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Oh, hi. Who is this?
This is Dr. Ray Peavy.
Oh, hi, Dr. Ray. Yeah, someone said you're going to be calling me.
Yes, Craig, I was given your name by a friend of yours. His name is John, and he asked me to give you a call. He really felt like he wanted to give you an opportunity to really learn more about what he's been going through and improving his health through chiropractic. And Craig, I don't know, have you ever had any experience with chiropractic? I think he wasn't overly sure if you'd ever been to one.
Yeah, he must have seen me limping the other day because I had that old sciatic. I like to run, but I can't run too much anymore. That sciatic, I can't sleep at night.
So it sounds like, Craig, that if there was one reason why you'd want to come in and see me, and if I could help you, it would be to maybe get back to running again.
Yeah, well, forget the running. I just want to be able to sleep at night. But yeah, the running, that would be great. But I'll tell you, I just don't have the same comfort I had when I was a young spring chicken running around Arcadia.
Well, Craig, the wonderful thing about chiropractic is it's a science that predicates itself on health and wellness through a drugless surgical non-approach. And we use the body's natural healing capabilities to restore health and vitality through the nervous system, which is the great communicator of the body. And frankly, the spine is the root of a lot of these issues. And if the spine is not congruent with how it's in alignment, it can impinge, or frankly, it just kind of destructs the communication system. I also like to say that, Craig, I'm a little bit different than most chiropractors in the sense that I'm what I would call an organic chiropractor. And what that really means is that I also treat a lot of patients who come in with more than sore backs and bones. They come in, frankly, with problems with breathing or indigestion, or frankly, if it's a female patient, maybe she's having trouble with her monthly cycles. So the nervous system not only controls the muscle systems, but they control the organ systems. So that's the reason for organic. So I'd like to say that there's a lot more going on in my office than just, taking care of sore backs and bones. That's really a big, powerful asset that I think I can extend to a lot of my patients.
No, well, that sounds good. I didn't even think about those other things, but I just know the older I get, it seems like all my spare parts are starting to need to get work done. So no, I like that, Dr. Ray. That makes sense.
Yeah, and Craig, there's an old saying: "You're never too old to learn," and the body's never too old to learn how to do things better. It just needs a little bit extra help. So one of the things that we do in our office is extend a program where you can come in for a consultation with me and sit down, and we can discuss your condition and what you're looking to achieve, and see if chiropractic is a fit for you. And I'd love to schedule an appointment for you here in our office, and it's on me. There's absolutely no charge for that. Does that make sense to you, Craig?
Yes, that does. Yes, thank you, Dr. Ray.
Okay, great. And so I'd like to have you speak to our scheduling desk, and they can take down your name and contact information, and we'll get you in this week. I'll make room for you as soon as tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, nice meeting you, Craig.
Nice meeting you, Dr. Ray.
Dr. Ray, excellent work. How'd that feel for you?
I thought it went pretty well. I mean, I got to admit, I think I was a little bit unsure how this was going to go today. I wasn't sure exactly what the dynamics were, but I think what my understanding was, it was my opportunity to try to talk to somebody who I didn't even know and try to, in a very short period of time, not sell them, but certainly state my premise, what my philosophy is, what I stand for, and what I am willing to do to help that individual. So
Exactly.
hopefully I did that as reasonably well as possible.
Well, awesome. We're going to hear a little bit of feedback. I think you did a great job. And we talk about it being a hello to yes in your heart. So great job. And one of the things we consider a lot here, just everybody to be mindful of, is heart to heart connection and head to head connection, and the difference in the power of heart to heart connection. So let's jump right in with Brian Ripple. Brian, what 30 seconds of feedback do you have for Doc?
Great job. Felt an integrity amount of, your world and you are integrous about it. Just some things I'd point out is, love the open question. Have you had any experience with chiropractic work? Craig went into talk about running, and you heard it, you addressed it, but he said something right afterwards, which was a key point, of saying he liked to sleep at night and get out of comfort. And it was right in that transition, you dropped into a little bit more about the science about chiropractic work, which I love that it was knowledgeable, but I think he landed some points that you could have maybe unwrapped a little bit more about what is about running, his health, what is he seeking about comfort, that you probably could have wrapped a little bit more, just connected more to him at a deeper level. You are integrous based. I know you're serving and doing a great job. So you're 100% knowledgeable and credible. So great job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Brian, what'd you have for a score, sir?
8.7.
Nice. Diana, what do you have for Doc?
Hi, Ray. Great job. I loved your tone. I loved your energy. Obviously, you knew what you were talking about. You asked him how, you told him how you guys met, which was great, and built a little bit of rapport, asked questions. Fantastic. I'm going to build on what Brian said and now repeat. I think you had a couple times when he gave you information about himself, he either agreed with the challenge about wanting to run, and something else he said later where you could build a little more acknowledgement in that you heard him and that it's meaningful to you what he just said. Anything from a pause to brief repetition and just say, hey, I get it. I'm here for you. And you gave him a mini lesson, which was amazing and created curiosity, but maybe a little too long. And the only thing I would have changed is at the end, instead of saying, does it make sense, to say, how does that sound? Mm-hmm. Or do you have time next week? A little more inviting and not questioning your own sense. And hey, I do the same thing, so I'm not gonna point any fingers, but just to improve on that. It was beautiful. Well done. 8.5.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Doc. And Diana, you can get a little bit of feedback. There's like a crackling. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but great job. I just want to let you know that. Thank you, Doc. Craig, who's next?
All right. We have wonderful Gavin Kelly. All right, Gavin, who do you want me to be? Besides the sore sciatic, that was painful, that whole 3 minutes.
So I want you to be a real estate investor who is selling property in California because the cap rates are very low. People have a very small return on their investment. And they're really scared right now because of all the risky investments in retail and office commercial real estate. And they're looking to make a change, but they don't see the returns they'd like in California.
Okay, is this commercial property, you said?
Single family portfolios.
Whoa, that's interesting. So perfect segue. All right, Gavin, you have 3 minutes. Please take us in.
Okay.
So Craig, I got the referral from one of my colleagues that he stated that you were kind of coming out of California here. And I just wanted to follow up with you and see exactly what was going on with you.
Yeah, well, I was looking to, are you saying I'm buying in California or selling in California?
You're selling in California. You're doing a 1031 exchange. You have about $7 million coming out of your sale, and you don't know what to do with it. You're a little scared. Let's say you're 87 years old.
Okay.
And you have 6 grandkids.
Okay. All right. Well, I can write to the grandkids. Well, yeah, Gavin, I'm selling this property, but we're in transition and these are crazy times. So quite honest, I'm not sure exactly which direction I'm going to go.
You know, Craig, I work with a lot of investors right now. For example, I'm working with a 92-year-old that is selling 6 properties, and he's doing a 1031 exchange into some single family product that we have. What I want to tell you is that there's a lot of uncertainty, and I understand where you're coming from. A lot of people are moving out of California. It's very expensive to live. People are uncertain about the economy. What are you uncertain about right now?
Well, just even, you know, how they held off the rent this time, Trump said, people don't have to pay rent. That got me worried. Like, what right does he have to do that? I understand he's wanting to help people on rent, but for me as an investor, I'm just worried about some of the governmental laws and then where I would go. Each state's a little different.
You know, Craig, I understand entirely. You're not alone. A lot of people don't know, they want to protect their assets. They see these riots. People are destroying commercial property left and right in city streets of Seattle and places like that. And I understand entirely. We've seen about a 96% collection rate on all of our properties nationwide. We mostly middle-end single-family homes, properties that are desirable but aren't in the most exclusive neighborhood, but aren't in more seedy areas as well. They're mostly middle-end properties, and I want to tell you that people find a lot of success with us getting that peace of mind. We offer a tenant warranty on all of our tenants, which nobody else does. And I really see single family homes as one of the strongest investments because people always need a place to live. And if you're dealing with people with integrity, tenants with jobs, you're not going to run into those problems of those extremists. I want to talk to you a little bit more about single family homes and would really like to meet with you face to face. What type of property are you selling right now?
I have a multi-use, multi-unit house, but I've got properties up in Sherman Oaks area.
Yeah, Sherman Oaks is a great area, and that's been a strong investment. What you really need to look at is your depreciation schedule on those properties. When about did you buy those homes?
Those were in the late.
I got a phone call in 5 seconds.
Uh-oh, I got a phone call, Gavin, but I'm interested.
Hey, you know what? I'd really like to sit down and talk with you. I want you to have strong investments. I don't want someone to call you and tell you they're going to get you double-digit returns when they can't. And I'd really like to sit down with you when you have a moment. Are you available next Thursday at 2?
I am. Thank you, Gavin.
Top 10.
All righty.
Awesome, Gavin. Love the certainty. How'd that feel for you?
It felt a little bit long. I felt like I wasn't getting straight to the point, and I don't necessarily think that in real estate, in my transactions, usually I get a warm introduction, so people hear about me, they want to ask more questions to me, and I didn't open up him enough as I should have. I felt okay about the conversation, but I think I could have done a lot better.
Oh, thanks for that open self-awareness. Thank you, brother. I think you did a real nice job. Karen, Colorado County, what do you have for Gavin?
Hi, so yeah, I agree with Gavin on his own assessment as far as at first I wasn't sure exactly what Craig was trying to sell, or that because he said he was going to sell something, but he did have concern about, rental properties and maybe those weren't necessarily a good investment for him. And Gavin acknowledged that and asked some more questions and, just letting him know, that he was knowledgeable, but just maybe more questions into Craig, as to what he was wanting to do specifically. But I thought that the pace went really well. Your acknowledgement and love as far as, matching and mirroring, was great. That was fantastic. So I'll give you a 7.
Awesome job.
Thanks.
Karen. B Ripple, what's up, Brian?
Hey, Gavin. First of all, honestly, you kind of gave yourself your own grade. I think you acknowledged a lot of things. I would just say I think you acknowledged that the rapport building probably could have gone a little deeper. If you're dealing with someone in the 80s, maybe asking those questions: where's this money? The use of it? Where do they see the future of it? Really getting into maybe more of him, how he got the property. I love the question: what are you uncertain about? That was just starting to get deep in there. I think you could probably unpack that too. Your rapport building with him, energy-wise, I thought was strong. So I'm going to give it an 8.1.
Yeah. Nice job, Gavin. Excellent work, Brian. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Craig, who is next up on Fun Friday?
All right. Good job, Gavin. All right. David. David's looking like he's ready to go. He's got his game face on. So who do you want me to be, David? And you're muted, David. You almost had your game face on. No, I'm just using. All right. You're good.
Thank you. Yeah, I want you to be Sean.
Oh.
And I want to have a discussion with you regarding developing a business relationship between the two of us and sharing some ideas about what I might be able to do to expand and grow my firm.
Whoa, very interesting, David. All right, love it. Craig, yeah.
Great. I've got to have level 5 listening like that. Okay. All right.
Take us in.
Hey, Sean, thanks for taking my call. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy.
Oh, yeah, but nice hearing you, David. Nice having you call.
Well, I wanted to talk to you about a couple of things. You know, you're on the East Coast, I'm here on the West Coast. I was thinking maybe we could share business back and forth. My practice has a little bit of a nationwide influence, and I wanted to see if that might be something we might develop further.
I think so, David. No, I like what you're saying, and what I would like to offer you and what we're doing is I'd love to get together with you and show you how we merge ecosystems, because that's how I built my 40 lawyer law firm when I was only 27. I looked like I was 17. So yeah, that's good.
Can you tell me a little bit about what your practice is like? What do you do?
Well, I built it on health collecting from insurance companies to doctors. And
hey guys, Gavin, how you doing? Mr. Call?
Well, we'd like to. I don't know where that came from, David. I think that was Gavin. But anyhow, what that same pattern and what I did, David, I would love to get together with you and show you what I did to make successful and see how it works. And have you been in California the whole time, your whole life?
Yes, my practice has always been in California. And one of the things that's important to me is the culture of the firm. We're not all about making the dollars. We're about serving people, and we're about having people have families and real lives rather than being tied to a desk and billable hours. Is that something that you is part of your culture?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. If you like being with family, and if you like surfing with blind guys and having fun, yeah, I think we could get together, David.
Well, that sounds good. I wanted to bounce just a couple of ideas off of you. What kind of ideas do you have about expanding a firm? Right now, we're debtor credit relations and insolvency, and I'm looking to add some transactional and maybe a couple of litigators in that area. You have any thoughts that you might want to share with me on how to do that?
Exactly. And just give you a hint, I can't go over it all because we only have about another minute, but it's all about speaking engagements, David. When I started my business, even my own family just did not understand where I was headed. But I was able to build my law firm, meeting with groups, chiropractors, other agencies where I could get we call it a microphone and a stage. And building these ecosystems through speaking engagements is the key. And yes, I can go more on that with you in detail.
Well, I'd be very interested in how you do that. Maybe we should set a time where we can get together. When do you think you're going to be out on this coast?
Well, after I pounce that Clingman guy from SoCal in the surf thing tomorrow, boy, am I going to get that guy. When I come back next week, I can have you talk to wonderful Tink, and she can probably set us up.
I'll give her a call and see what we can set up then.
Okay. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
David, thank you. That was an honor and it was fun. So great job. How'd that feel for you?
I don't know, a little stiff.
Yeah. So can I share something? Would this be cool if we reverse this a little bit?
Absolutely.
Okay. So, and then we'll drop in. So, David, wow. Yeah, I heard that exchange here with Craig. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. And I honor your desire for expansion and growth. But could I ask this? And also, by the way, for culture. So what's sort of driving you in the mission? I'm hearing intentionality, I'm hearing purpose, and I'm hearing caring and a love for people.
Well, this will come a little out of left field, I think. I have two children, both of which who grew up seeing their father be a lawyer, saying he worked too hard because he didn't come home for dinner with everybody. And both of them about 8 years ago, declared together that they wanted to become lawyers, and they are both now lawyers. My son just passed the bar the last year. My daughter's been a lawyer for 7 years, and they are both in my firm. So I'm thinking legacy, and I'm thinking them.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing. And so how does that feel, man, to have your son and daughter working with you?
Well, at first I didn't think it was going to work, you know, how parents and kids get along, but actually it's been excellent. We play foils to one another when we're dealing with cases. I can come in and be the roaring lion and the bad guy, and then my daughter could pick up the phone and say, well, you know, maybe I can get him to do or agree to X, Y, and Z.
Wow.
So it's kind of fun.
It is. It sounds amazing. And so where do you see going from here? If you have it all your way and everything goes the way you'd want, what is this look like 5-10 years out?
What I'd like to be is the regional insolvency firm in Southern California. If you got anything involving insolvency, this is the place you would come to get it done. And people would know that you could come here, that you'd be dealt with honestly, that you'd get a good job for a fair price.
That sounds awesome, man. I really appreciate that. And when you're there and you achieve that, you know, what would that mean to you, your kids, your family, your legacy?
I don't know. For me, it's always about the building of things and figuring out the puzzles. And I never want to be done. So I don't know what that really looks like, other than it's a plan, and you know, you take the next step after that.
Yeah, well, that's awesome, man. So in the final 30 seconds, could I share a little bit about myself?
Sure.
Yeah. So, you know, I've had the unique privilege of building, you know, we have 125 people at Callagy Law right now, and I have a little bit of fun saying it's my side hustle. And I love the firm. I love what we're doing. I love the impact, and we have an amazing and magical culture, to the point we had a 700 person Christmas party last year. And that was after we'd gone to Grand Cayman with the entire firm in 2016. I'm sorry, 17. And had dueling pirate ships for everybody. You know, and the Christmas party last year, Christmas and holiday, we had live reindeer, we had mechanical reindeer. It snowed inside. We had a live band and DJ, and my kids were there with me.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
You know, and they're teenagers, and so it was like the PG-13 fun. You know, it wasn't drunken, raucous, who's who surface. It was deep love, emotional rapport, and build. So I hear that resonance in you. I hear family in you, and yeah, I'd love to connect and talk. So pause. So I'll go out of role. I mean, I was in role, but not. So how did that connection feel for you? What we just did?
That felt very good.
Yeah, awesome.
I felt that we developed an affinity with one another, some commonality. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
Well, thank you. I did as well. So thank you. And then let's turn it to the amazing assessors, and let's start with the incredible Diana.
David, I think you felt comfortable to me, though you said it was a little stiff. So it's interesting sometimes how things read are different than how they feel. I want to say I like that you hinted, or maybe just put the agreement ask that you had first. Why are you calling? And then you went into asking some questions and mentioned culture and about his practice. And it felt like you had genuine interest in him. At some point, then the roles reversed and he started offering you for the meeting and you weren't quite ready to take it. So that was an interesting dynamic. And I think you just moved right along there. So as long as you're dropping into your heart and you can bond the way you just felt with Sean, I think you're in good hands.
Oh, amazing. And Diana, incredible job cleaning up that noise part. It sounds like perfect. You are truly magical. And thank you. And what'd you have for a score for David?
I'm going to give you an 8.7.
Beautiful. Brian Ripple, what do you have, sir?
Hey, David, it's interesting that you thought it was a little, I think you used the word stiff, but I thought it was, I wrote down on my page, congruence. You know, Craig was teeing you up, and I thought it was kind of cool how you just didn't like get baited in for it. You kept continuing to ask questions. So give you a lot of props for that, because it would have been easy just to go in for kind of, let's get the appointment, let's move forward. And you kept wanting to talk about culture, expanding, and then you brought your kids into it. So I felt the heart-centeredness that you I connected with there. So Craig was making it very easy for you. And I think you did a great job of keep flowing through and driving what your mission and finding that connection point before him. So I wrote the word congruence on the paper here, and I thought you were very congruent in your message. Great job. 8.3.
Thank you for that, Brian. Great job, David. Craig from SoCal, brother. How you think things are going so far? Like, what the first three fine folks? What's some overarching feedback you would have? What trends, what patterns are you seeing?
Well, I'll just tell you, and like Sean said, there's formulas and things we're learning, right? Truths that we're just bringing out. But I'm impressed, Sean, with like just when Gavin talking and then David here, I'm building that rapport. It's like I like these guys; they're very heartfelt, and just meeting them and Carrie here that's been great. Like I feel like they're not, you didn't catch them over here. They're already kind of doing a lot of the things that would make them great with this team. So that's what I noticed.
Yeah, which of course they're already. So Craig from SoCal, everybody in this fun Friday, thank you so much. I am going to be off to another dynamic Real Raw Open right now. Craig, I leave this amazing moment in yours and Diana's and Karen's and Brian's super capable hands. And again, thank you for everybody. And if this is the end of our journey together, I offer you the possibility that influence is truly the only attainable superpower for people. And of course, that's heart-centered, integrous influence. And maybe we're all blind and just learning to see, but hopefully it's just the beginning of our journey and we look forward to talking more. So Craig, back to you, brother. Keep it driving. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sean. All right. Wonderful, Carrie. And this has been a very good group. So Carrie, no pressure because David, that was pretty good. He had it the other way around. I loved being Sean, by the way. That was fun. I had to go after that Clingman guy. So Carrie, what would you like me to be in this?
Okay, so let's have you, Craig, be a pizza delivery driver who just delivered some pizza. Now he's on his way back to his employment.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll do let's ring ring.
Yes, Jim Pizza Guy.
Hey, Jim, how are you doing? This is Kerry O'Brien. I understand that you recently contacted my office regarding an accident you were involved in. Is that correct?
Yeah, well, the floors, I've been telling the owner, he always, is either be me or Sally has to mop the floor, and she never does it. And so finally the time came. I'm trying to get my pizza out there, and my feet went out from under me, and I came to, I don't know how long later, but Pete, she's got to mop that floor. So yeah, that's why I had called you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm happy to explain the legal process and what rights you might have. It sounds to me that you were inside the premise.